Good morning, Intenders.
Good morning.
Welcome and welcome back to Morning Intentions. Today is Monday, June 15th. We hope you had a lovely weekend. How about you, Annette? Did you have a great weekend?
I did. I had a really nice weekend. I'm a little tired because I had such a nice weekend.
You're tired because you had such a nice weekend. Normally people say, I feel rested and ready to go.
No, I don't feel rested and ready to go at all. I feel very tired. I worked very hard. Dawn and I put in a perennial bed. I have been wanting a perennial garden since we left Seattle in 1999. Finally, I have my little perennial garden with flowers and bushes, and it's beautiful. That's what we worked on, and it's left me a little tired, but very satisfied.
Well, that satisfied, hang on to that because that's what today and this week is all about. The last couple of weeks, we've covered a lot on curiosity. Here's just the recap, very, very short because we're moving on to the second part of our theme. So curiosity is checking in. I wonder what's happening without making any assumptions. Curiosity explores possibilities, seeks information, remains open, and responds to a reality. Now, if you recall from our theme, it's curiosity and the art of enjoying life. Here's a sentence I want you all to hang on to. The art of enjoying life is creating a life you enjoy. I'll say that one more time. The art of enjoying life is creating a life you enjoy. It doesn't just happen. It's not an accident. A life you enjoy is a life you create. Now, Annette, when you say you are satisfied, you worked hard, but in the end, you're satisfied. Sounds to me, creating this perennial garden was part of creating a life you enjoy.
Very much so. And it was nice to take the time to do it. For years, we've been so busy and we said, it'd be so nice to put a perennial garden right here. But then we've never done it. And then we did, and it's beautiful, and it gives me a lot of enjoyment already. When we were talking about curiosity and the art of enjoying life, when we got to the art of enjoying life part, what kept on coming up in our conversations, if you remember it, is that many times we put enjoying life out in the future. How many times have I heard in my life, especially I'm hearing it more because my friends are my age, they'll say, only 3 more years till I retire. I'm almost retired. Really, we're just putting our enjoyment on hold then. If we're saying, I'm just going to suffer through until I retire, what we really want to do is create a life that we love no matter where we're at in life. If we're pre-retirement, if we're just starting our careers, if we're retired, but we don't want to put it off to some day in the future because some day in the future isn't even guaranteed.
I also worry that when we put things off, like I'll enjoy life when I retire, it is putting so much expectation on what retirement will look like and feel like, and who knows if it's going to feel like that.
And how many clients have we had over the years where they retire and then a few years after they get a little part-time job, or they might have always been volunteering, but they become more involved in their volunteer work. Taking a little break is fine, but as you always tell me, you got to keep going. You got to keep learning. You got to keep growing. And you're telling me that as I'm getting a little older, I don't want to stop, but I also can see where sometimes you need to take a little break. Totally get that. And it doesn't have to be something for money. I mean, you don't have to be working for a paycheck, but just staying involved and not saying, which I think you bring up a really great point, Ada, not saying that, I'm going to be happy when I retire. I'm going to be happy when I lose 15 pounds. I'm going to be happy when I have more money. I'm going to be happy when things calm down a little bit. Then we're putting our happiness and our enjoyment out in the future where wouldn't it be nice if we could just find our happiness right here, right now?
We have to. That's the only time we get. The present is all there is. So putting it off to a future date, like when I retire, saying you'll be happy when the circumstances change, like if you lose some weight, or when your kids are out of high school and out of the house, when you make more money, when things feel less chaotic. When you say that you'll enjoy life at some predetermined future date, who knows if it's going to come? And who knows what it's actually going to be like? You aren't giving yourself an opportunity to enjoy life right now. Because all of these experiences can be enjoyable if you have the right mindset and also you create the circumstances that are enjoyable. And what I mean by that is that we have to be intentional about designing and creating. That's that intentionality part, a life that reflects who we are, what's alive in us, what matters to us, and how we actually want to spend our days. I can look at so many years of my life where I can't say they were bad, but I wasn't that happy because I was doing so much stuff I didn't want to do. And it was more than just, well, I don't want to go to work. I like going to work. That's why I tell Annette, don't ever stop. We need your wisdom. Maybe I'll go off on a little bit of a tangent about the retirement stuff, but I do not like people to say, I'll enjoy life when I retire, when I'm out of the workforce, that sort of thing. We have kind of a youth addicted culture these days, but I can see just on my own journey, I'm not like wise old Ada. I'm not a wise old owl or anything like that. But I can see that as I mature in my life, I wish I could go back and tell my younger self to do things different. And maybe it was those experiences that helped me to get to where I am. But Annette, you're very wise. Your wisdom needs to be shared. When people grow and they mature, and then they have something to share with the rest of the world that you only get through experience. So then when we have this focus on what's new, what's young, we miss out on so much wisdom that can only be gained and cultivated through years of experience.
Well, now that you're a wise old Ada, which you really are,
I don't think I am.
you have a lot of wisdom and you still have a lot of life left. What is one or two things that you would go back and say to your younger self?
That's a good question. Especially since I said I like to tell my younger self a few things.
Yes, what would you say?
My top two things that I would say to my younger self, the first one would be to be authentic for yourself. It's not to gain any points with anybody, and it's okay if people don't like your authentic self. Just be yourself for you, because the most important person to love yourself is actually yourself. And the second one would be stay hopeful, because life is long. Circumstances are always changing. What feels permanent today ends up only being temporary. But see, I only learned those things through years of catastrophizing and recognizing that my catastrophizing was worthless. That all the worries that I had didn't come to fruition, or at least didn't turn out how I thought they were going to. I missed out on years of enjoying life because I thought these circumstances had to be what I thought they should be in order to feel that joy.
Well, that's what I wanted to dive into tomorrow, of all the different expectations that we think the art of enjoying life would look like. It's truly more simple than it might seem, but I want us to really dive into that tomorrow. And thank you for sharing what you would tell your younger self. I think we should dive into that a little bit too.
That sounds good. But for today, our intention is a curiosity question. What would you tell your younger self? What would you tell your younger self? Take all your years of experience, all the wisdom that you've gleaned through the years of your life, and what do you wish your younger self would have known? and not just in general, but about our theme, the art of enjoying life. Thank you so much for joining us today. Our day is better because you are part of our day. See you tomorrow.
See you then.